an impact on the team. Please.
Sir, thank you, sir. Elon Musk said he'll be stepping back from his work with DOGE a little bit and only dedicating maybe a day or two a week to it. How long would you like to see that continue, and how involved would you like to see him continue to be after?
Well, first of all, I can't speak more highly about any individual. He's an incredible guy. He's a brilliant guy. He's a wonderful person. I've seen him with his family. I've seen him with a lot of his children. He's got a lot of children. He treats them good. He loves his children. But he's a brilliant guy, and he was a tremendous help, both in the campaign and in what he's done with DOGE. And, you know, we're talking about almost $200 billion and rising fast, because many of the things that we were looking at are now being found out to be fact. It's terrible. I mean, the fraud.
Let me start there, and then I want to let Trump finish what he's saying about Elon Musk, and then we're going to go on from there. The fact of the matter is that it was a process. So the early findings of what DOGE and obviously Elon Musk taking a heavy hand and contributing into what's going on with the administration and getting things set up also had to go through a process where they had to prove it and then find it out to be fact. So along with the diversity, equity, and inclusion hires that needed to be let go, you also had a whole lot of fraud, waste, and abuse, and they had to confirm it in addition to finding it, right? So it's a three-step process, while at the same time, you see the same thing that Democrats are complaining about is the very same thing that they're suffering from. So, for example, if you go over to Chicago, you can see that they have a $1 billion budget deficit, and they're going to have an escalating budget deficit, while basically the city is nearing junk bond status. You see Chicago going through the exact same thing. Actually, it's Chicago that's nearing junk bond status. Los Angeles is the one that's really, really suffering, but they blaming it on everything except for competent administration over in the city. California itself is facing tens of billions of dollars, but yet they want the federal government to continue to spiral out of control and for us to not to make the critical investments so that we're not interdependent on other countries and find all of the fraud, waste, and abuse. And that's what they label it, and that's exactly what it is. We've seen the propaganda, we've seen all of that. And after the initial shock, then it just becomes normal because we know that all of this stuff needs to be rooted out. And so it took somebody, both a president and somebody outside of the establishment, to actually sacrifice themselves and do the thing that's in the best interest of the American people by taking a hit reputationally, because you're going to have half the country hate you because it's easy for Democrats to go and promote, you know, how they hate you. Well, at the same time, just a few years ago, they were championing you because they was pushing through a Green New Deal. And so, you know, obviously his reputation as far as being able to sell products, which, you know, I discussed that on the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, link is in the description. But his reputation takes a hit, but at the same time, the country benefits. So as far as DOGE is concerned, they still have a target date of being done with auditing the federal government by next year in July. But the first 2.5 months that they've been doing it, they've already uncovered hundreds of billions of dollars that is flying out the door of taxpayer money. So for somebody to even make that sacrifice in the first place, I think it should be championed. Obviously, we know that there's a political agenda that's on the flip side, but let's hear what the rest of Trump got to say, and then we're going to go from there.
The waste, the abuse, the everything that's happened is just terrible. So I also know that he was treated very unfairly by the, I guess you'd call it the public, by some of the public, not by all of it. I say he makes an incredible car, makes everything he does is good, but they took it out on Tesla. And I just thought it was so unfair because he's trying to help the country. But he has helped the country. I also want him to make sure that he's going to be in great shape. And I know he is. I mean, he's going to do great. He loves the country. He didn't need to do this. He did it. And I told him, I said, you know, whenever you're ready, I'd like to keep him for a long time, but whenever you're ready, he's an exceptional guy. When you see those rockets go up and come back and land in the same gantry, nobody else can do that but this man. So he's just an incredible person, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a nice person, too. He's a very nice person. He really helped the country, saved us a lot of money. And I heard him say that he'll start easing, which is always, he was always at this time going to ease out. And when he goes back to Tesla, that'll be taken care of. It was just, it's artificial. These were sick people that thought they were doing something. He's a great patriot, and he should really, it shouldn't be the way, that should never have happened to him. And I will tell you right now, he makes a great product. He makes a great product. It's a great car. It's great everything. Starlink is great. What he does is good. He's doing medical things that are amazing. And we have to, at some point, let him go and do that. And we expect him to be doing it about this time.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the gist of it, is that Elon Musk had already kind of discussed that he was going to be stepping down from, or not playing as large of a role, actually a very minimal role. And he talked about it on a conference call when they were announcing Tesla profits, which the profits are down 71%. But here's the other caveat when you talk about profits being down 71%. You're also not taking into consideration tooling. So they had to basically retool every factory worldwide so that they can release a new Model Y, which is the best-selling car in the world. Additionally, you have to understand that people being so liberal and being so easily indoctrinated to where they would actually go and torch a Tesla store or dealership or anything like that, spray painting things. You know, I don't believe in extremes on either side. On Josh Shapiro's side, they actually firebombed his house while people were inside. And so whether you're on the left or you're on the right, I think that it's disrespectful and it's unfortunate that people are even that they're even championing that type of behavior just because they disagree or they absolutely don't like a person. Okay, well, then you can choose not to buy the product. I think that the product and the stock eventually is going to be incredible, especially with the Tesla robot and all of this other type of stuff. And anybody that has ever driven a Tesla, especially one of the more recent ones, I keep one inside of my fleet. You'll know that it is an incredible vehicle. I know that some people have preference for ICE, internal combustion engines. I like all of it. I like the new technology. I like the old school stuff. But more importantly, I recognize that he did not have to make the sacrifice or even be as visible what he did. He didn't have to buy Twitter, which was censoring everybody and unblocking everybody, including the president of the United States of America. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to bring the astronauts back home that Biden left up in space. A lot of people forgot about that, and the people that are supposed to be patriots don't even care. That's supposed to be on the left. He didn't have to do a lot of things, but I think that Elon Musk is going to be rich forever. He's going to be fine. More importantly, our culture is broken. It is 100% broken. And so while you see people championing Michelle Obama and her podcast continuing to throw Barack Obama under the bus and talk about basically how she's an independent woman now, they are going against traditional masculine men that are championing America first and is trying to fix the country from decades of being broken from people that came before you while being indoctrinated at the same time. I mean, for the love of God, we have universities that literally are indoctrinating your kids and pushing diversity, equity, and inclusion except for freedom of thought when it comes to when you disagree with them. Harvard, for goodness sake, who receives taxpayer dollars and research grants and funding, is going against the Trump administration for being required to open it up based off of merit and diversity of thought from everybody, not just from people on the left. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Peace.